Don't you wonder sometimes? Oh, sound and vision. I miss Bowie. Hand up if you miss Bowie. Oh my God, do I miss David Bowie? I just saw this thing the other day that said that in Batman 2, in Tim Burton's Batman 2, the role that Christopher Walken played was supposed to be played by David Bowie. Now, I love Walken, but could you imagine what that movie would have been with David Bowie in it? Holy cow. Soundtrack would have been a little better. I'll tell you that right now. Lots to get to on this episode of the AOA podcast. We missed you on Monday, Cinco de Mayo. I hope it was good for you. Started the Diddy trial. Of course, we do have a Diddy update coming up right after we discuss this Virginia Giuffre story. Lots of questions starting to build around her unfortunate passing. We'll share with you what the buzz is at the moment. Harry and Meghan Markle, very out with the royal family. New quotes coming in after that bombshell BBC interview with Prince Harry. I shouldn't say Prince Harry. I should say regular USA California Harry. So we'll recap that, obviously. This video of the Pirates fan falling over the fence. We got a new angle, which is just crazy. Conclave continues. Disney Parks announce a new park. We've got a new Soundgarden album, believe it or not. And we'll mix it up with some other topics here or there. My friends, that is a podcast. Sound and Vision. If you haven't listened to Sound and Vision in a while, pop it in. It is delightful. Virginia Giuffre. Let me preface this by saying a couple of things here. One, my reasoning on putting her first in the lineup on this episode is because we are close to 2 weeks out from her passing, and not a single word from any bit of authority anywhere in Australia on what exactly happened to this young lady and how. Usually, within 2 weeks of somebody's sudden passing, we have some cause of death, some explanation on the story, police records, some early preliminary autopsy information. There is nothing 2 weeks out, nothing on Virginia Giuffre Roberts. It's awfully suspicious. So we dig. Right? We question, we wonder, and we dig. And I don't believe that the National Enquirer is any sort of legitimate news source whatsoever. Not whatsoever. However, if we learned anything from Men in Black, they do get things right from time to time. The National Enquirer has a story out right now where they're basically saying that insiders, whoever that may be, are claiming that Virginia Giuffre was taken out because she was about to take part in an explosive documentary all about Prince Andrew. Now, do I believe that to be true? Not really. Because she had done it all. She spoke about Prince Andrew. She laid out her entire experience with Prince Andrew in interviews in the media before. She sued Prince Andrew. She settled with Prince Andrew. She basically got Prince Andrew, persona non grata around the royal family. He was excommunicated to some house that they owned somewhere out of the spotlight. He hasn't been seen or heard from, really, for the most part, by anybody. What would a documentary bring to light that didn't already exist out there in the ether? I just don't understand it. I don't think so. But this insider, familiar with the upcoming TV project, said, and I quote, in the National Enquirer, she was scheduled to speak about the Prince Andrew case. She was going to give additional testimony in a huge 6-part documentary. That was the reason she was taken out. And why you bring this up? It's what people are saying. The other little interesting tidbit here, and I don't believe it. I'm telling you what the National Enquirer is saying, and I'm telling you why I don't think it's right, because she already said all there is to say. What was she going to say more? Was there something she held back that she could tell us that was worse? Probably. Is it, does it matter if you go from the 99% to or 98% to 99% the worst thing you've ever heard? Does it really make a difference? Like, we already heard how horrific it was. What could, even if she did have something to add to it, what could it have possibly been? And how much worse would you have felt about all of it? Probably not much worse, even though you might have felt worse. But the other reason why I bring the National Enquirer thing into it is they are saying that authorities have yet to release an official cause of death, which I just told you, although some have suggested pills are to blame. Virginia's lawyer, Carrie Loudon, cast doubt on her death. We talked about that already. But this is the first place anywhere that says pills. Pills make sense to me. I mean, a lot of other things make sense too, I guess. But they're the first ones to kind of report on what this could have possibly been. So we tell you it's from the National Enquirer, because we also tell you that you got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. But that doesn't mean that they can't get to a story first, like, hey, we're hearing pills. But it is very bizarre, creepy, unsettling that we're 2 weeks out and nothing, not even a preliminary test, not even a statement from the local authorities, an investigation, nothing. Quiet, utter nothingness. The only other thing that really popped today was Prince Andrew was trending for a little while because Project Veritas, who I don't overly trust all that much, they had a video of a former Prince Andrew aide, somebody who worked within the royal family. He was on a date or at a dinner or something, and he was talking to a person, I think a woman, because you could kind of hear her voice. And he was basically going on and saying how Prince Andrew assured him that none of this was true, and then he went and found out that it was all true. And this was trending earlier today on Wednesday, May 7th here in the United States. And again, I don't understand why that's trending, because is it bombshelly to have a former Prince Andrew aide confirm that he did these horrible things? I guess, but it's not like the guy said he walked in and saw it or he knew for sure. He's basing his observations on all other reports and Virginia Roberts, Giuffre, and everything else that he's seen. So there's not really much more credibility to that. It would be like in the States, a White House press secretary or somebody who works in the White House going, oh, yeah, I heard this about the president. And then, the president told me it wasn't true. And then we found out that it was true. Well, what difference does that make? You're yet another person to find out about it. It's not like groundbreaking information. But again, we must point out we're 2 weeks out. Nothing. Nobody's got anything to say. That makes me uncomfortable, because I said, and I stand by this, I don't think there was anything overly, I believe that this was an unfortunate, she took her own life. That's what I believe. That's what I feel deep in my heart. And the more time that passes without some sort of an explanation or some sort of a, autopsy report, cause of death report, something, the more time that passes, the more I feel like maybe my original instinct was just flat out wrong. Because what is taking so long? I don't, it's odd to say this, but, Gene Hackman, obviously much more massive in the world than Virginia Giuffre. And so you would think a lot of the attention when he passes is going to be much bigger, which it was. But even still, we were getting reports and learning things as we went. Stuff was leaking out of the police department. They were quick to call press conferences because of all the press, interest in this kind of thing. None of this for Virginia. Nothing. Nobody's pressing. Are we the only ones asking questions and not getting any answers? Nothing. No response. Not a no comment. No response anywhere. It's sus, as the kids say. It's very, very sus. Very, very, very sus. I don't care for any of it, to be totally honest with you. And then like you couple with that, this other guy talking all this shit about it, and it's like, oh, okay, it's still there's still some interest there. There's still things that we need to find out, but we just still don't know. We still don't know. Paul leads us into the last part of our Virginia Giuffre conversation, and that is that Attorney General Pam Bondi made another claim about the Epstein files, and now, according to the Miami Herald, some Republicans are even doubting her. 70 days since Pam Bondi promised the public release of the files for the Jeffrey Epstein case. It took a skeptical remark from a top Republican congressperson to force her to explain why she hasn't followed through. Bondi told reporters at the White House today, quote, "There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn, and there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume. That's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that." Bondi was responding to Rep. James Comer, the Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee, who told a podcaster he does not believe the Justice Department is in possession of the records detailing the high-profile sex trafficking case. The Attorney General ordered them released, saying, quote, "The Attorney General does not have them," James Comer said, "The Attorney General does not have them, or she would have turned them over. The President ordered them released. The Attorney General ordered them released. We all know they have not been released." Comer said this on the Benny Johnson podcast, I guess yesterday that came out. I understand it. I get it. I don't love it. I've been very big on law enforcement and the Department of Justice and the FBI. And while most people have lost faith in a lot of these police units, for lack of a better term, I maintain that there's still great people in our government working for us, right? Especially the low-level people that you never hear about. I think there's good people there. I think good people join the FBI. I think good people join the Department of Justice. And I think 99% of the time they're doing good. You might say that there's political leanings and there's this and that, and are they totally, bipartisan? Okay, maybe they're not perfect. But I think a lot of them are great people. That being said, I cannot trust these entities right now because of the nature of this case. Because Epstein was given such an insane sweetheart deal. Because his ties go up to presidents and the royal family in England and Mossad and all this stuff. No one can be trusted. If Pam Bondi wants to gain and garner everybody's trust, then these things need to be given to some sort of independent, non-governmental authority to be reviewed. I'm not saying they need to be released. Do I want everybody to get the total 1000% transparent truth? I do. However, I do think that there are going to be some people and victims that don't want this stuff out there, that it did happen to them and they don't want other people to know about it. And that needs to be respected. That's why I feel like we got to meet halfway. You know what I'm saying? It can't be a full release, but at the same time, you've got to give it to somebody that the public can trust, some entity, some sort of sex trafficking organization. And there are a ton out there that are fighting for, to stop this horrible epidemic. You got to give it to one of these groups to review and go over, because although I believe there are good people in the FBI and the Department of Justice and in our government, there are some people that are not great. And those some people that are not great sometimes win and beat the good people. Sometimes, no matter how many good people you have, they can't overcome certain bad people at the top. You know what I'm saying? And in this particular case, this is something that needs to be given to somebody else, an independent third party who doesn't have anything, no ties to the government, no ties to any of this, who can go through everything, review it, and then back up what the government tells us. Because I don't think, again, I don't believe that this stuff should be released. But at the same time, I'd feel a lot better if an independent third party said, hey, everything the government gave you is legit. We reviewed everything and they're not hiding anything. We didn't find anything, because there's got to be record, and things could still be hidden. They could not pass it along to whatever. My plan is not flawless. Okay. But you got to give us something other than, hey, I know I said I'd do this, but trust us, we're still working on it. 4 years from now, we're going to be talking about the fact that the Trump administration has still yet to release any bit of information on any of this, or open up the investigation so that other people can independently corroborate their story. Because again, I don't want to embarrass any victims, but at the same time, you can have, and treat it like a cryptocurrency. Have 3 or 4 or 5 different entities who will all agree not to put out the information or reveal any, identities. Go through and corroborate that material. Be able to tell us that we've gone through everything. There's no missing records. There's no this. There's no that. Here's everything that you can see. The government was right. Great. Or, hey, the government didn't release this, and it has nothing to do with identities, and we believe it should be out there. Okay. But until then, and I credit Frankie C with this one, because I did for a time believe that we were going to get something. He all along said no. And I have a hard time arguing with him about it now, because it's like, and the reason why I say that mostly, I mean, he doesn't believe it because he doesn't believe that Donald Trump can say an honest thing. I'm saying that because of the stupid binder. The way they made it a spectacle in the beginning was disrespectful, publicity stunt, and awful. Just awful. It's awful to the victims. We're going to send it out, everybody. Then they got all those stupid influencers in, and they gave them binders and let them walk out and had that photo op, and look at how transparent we are. And it was all just a load of shit. You blew your chance at having an honest relationship with the American people that very day, whenever that was. So keep that in mind. That list has not been revealed yet, and I don't think it's coming anytime soon. So, what did somebody put? Alex Jones said Pam Bondi is complicit. I think a lot. Listen, this has been, from what we can tell, I don't know if it was in Bush's one time, but since the Clinton administration, you had Clinton, you had Bush, you had Obama. You had Trump the first time, you had Biden, and you have Trump again. All of those presidents didn't blow the lid off of this thing. So that's a lot. And by the way, and it's not just the presidents, it's the vice presidents, it's the DOJ, the head of the DOJ, it's the head of the FBI. All those administrations brought in all different people, and they all fell on the same side of not putting all this stuff out. So, I don't know if I really trust anybody as far as that stuff goes, nor should anybody else trust anybody. Speaking of not being trustworthy, trouble in the Diddy case. I'm losing confidence in the Diddy case as the days go on. Tony Busby bringing the lawsuit against Jay-Z and then ultimately pulling it back and then having Jay-Z sue him. Not a great look for him. Busby coming out with the stuff with Shannon Sharp when Shannon Sharp had to fight that back. By the way, I haven't heard a peep about that. Not a good look for Busby. Then they go to the jury selection on Monday. That started. Now we get the story today that one of the major witnesses for the prosecution might not testify. Now we believe Cassie Ventura will testify. She's the young lady who first brought the lawsuit against Diddy. That really was the domino that made all the other dominoes fall, which was great. So we believe that she will still be testifying. But there's another victim being identified as victim 3, who now the prosecution says they may not call because they haven't been able to get in touch with them. It's been sketchy to get in touch with their representative or them themselves. I guess they got some sort of a message that the person was going through some personal issues and may not be available. These are heartbreaking things to go through when you're in jury selection for a trial and one of your star witnesses now suddenly is not available. That's not a good look. That is not a good look. I mean, I was, reading some analysis that this trial is going to ultimately come down to 3 people, victim 3, Cassie Ventura, and one other. You got one of them kind of, again, being a little shaky. The defense is certainly going to pull out every stop that they can to block this. I'm sure Tony Busby, I don't know if they'll be able, it'll be admissible or whatever the case will be come trial time, but I'm sure they're going to bring up the Jay-Z stuff. I'm sure they're going to bring up the Shannon Sharp stuff. These are all looking like quick money grabs from Tony Busby when he came out looking like a massive hero when all this stuff started. So we'll see how it's going to play out. Not over by any stretch of the imagination, but not a good lead into jury selection. Let's put it that way. We'll certainly spend some more time on the Diddy case as we go and as things progress here. But the prosecution basically telling us today, we're not quite sure one of our star witnesses is gonna show up and testify, and that can't be a good thing for them. I mean, they're obviously going to keep going. They still tried to put on a brave face here, but a little shaky, a little worrisome if you want to see some of these predators and animals spend the rest of their lives behind prison. Harry and Meghan Markle. Boy, I tell you what, I went from being really mad at Meghan Markle to just feeling absolutely horrible and sad for Harry. This guy, my God, man. Did you see that BBC interview? He was pouring his little ginger heart out. He basically came out and said, my father won't talk to me, and I don't even know how long that guy has to live. Could you imagine? Your dad's got cancer. You don't know, what the outlay. I mean, this is what he said. The Royal Crown puts a brave face on everything, but if he's not doing well, they're going to try and conceal that for as long as they can, So Harry saying that is kind of like, and then he goes, oh, it's over this whole security. Harry goes, he's not talking to me over this whole security thing. That ain't it. That's not it. You're married to it, buddy. You're married to it. It's just horrific. Everything that they've gone through. And what's funny too? I was reading about this. They did that big Oprah interview, right? And they were like, oh, one of the family members of the royal family was like, oh, what color is the kid going to be? And it's so racist. And, which, I mean, it depends on how you say that. I mean, when we I feel like I've talked about this before. When my wife and I got pregnant, we wondered about the color of our kids' hair. We not worried about, but we wondered about who they were going to look like. Was their face going to fit their neck? A friend of mine's pregnant. And I go, what do you name the kid? She goes, I don't know. When the kid comes, I'll decide. Her first son, she waited, she had the baby. I have other friends who had the baby, waited like 2 days before they named the baby. So some people think that. And I did have that same thought. Cuddles and I had baby names picked out and everything ready to go. But it was we did have that kind of feeling and discussion of like, what if our kid doesn't look like a Michael or, we did, so you wonder about these things. Is skin color a racist thing? Can a white family that I don't know. People get crazy. If that was said to me, I wouldn't. I don't know if I would have freaked out over that. I mean, I'm hairy as shit. People are like, "Is your kid going to come out a gorilla?" Yeah. I could see. You could find that offensive if you're me, but I don't. So anyway, and I bring it up because it's like, again, there's a lot of times, and again, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been talking for a long time into a microphone. You say things and your tone of voice, the context of what you said before and after, a playful tone, it matters. It makes a difference. When you take that same bit of information and you put it into a news article or you put it into an interview and you give it a different tone of voice, that could make people look really, really bad when they had no intention of besmirching you. And when you do it for a lot of money, not a great look, right? It doesn't look the most sincere. The reason why I bring this up, though, is because they came out with all this stuff, right? And then Harry writes a memoir and puts a lot of confessions in the memoir, but doesn't talk about the things that made the Oprah Winfrey interview. That seems a little suspect to me. And you know what? I'll say this too, because I've had a little experience with this, right? Families can be tough. Families can be really tough. And families can do bad things to one another, right? It happens. You tend to hurt the people you love the most sometimes because there's so much love there. That's what causes the most hurt. Any sane person, and I've been in this boat, even if you know you're right, even if you have the higher moral ground or whatever you want to say, you do have that moment where you go, you know what? Why don't we try and make this right? Time is limited. You know, we don't have a lot of it. Let's make the best of this. Even though I don't think I'm wrong, even though I may know I'm not wrong, let's just go with I'm wrong. If it'll bring everybody together, maybe that's the best. I've definitely been in that situation in my life where I've had to say to people, doesn't matter that you don't think I'm wrong or I don't think I'm wrong. Why don't we just try and say whatever we have to say to patch this all up and put it back together for the good of whatever, you know? I think any decent person comes to that conclusion sometimes. Some people may not. I don't think J-Sabs would. J-Sabs holds a grudge. Don't cross J-Sabs. I've learned, I try not to fuck with J-Sabs. I try not to get even close to fucking with. I try not, wherever the J-Sabs line is, I don't dilly-dally close to it. I stay away from it. Don't want to get on her bad side. Some people are cutthroat, won't forgive you. Some people want to put it all together. If Meghan had a soul, which she doesn't, she would go to her husband and say, hey, why don't we fall on the sword for this? Why don't I come out and say, hey, maybe I took all that, what color's the baby going to be stuff. Maybe I was a little too sensitive. Maybe I took that wrong. You know, come out and say those things. Come out and say whatever it is you need to say to get your husband, who you say you love, in the same room with his father, who's dying of cancer. You know what I mean? Like, this guy had to go on I wonder did Harry ever have this conversation with his wife? Because he did it with a reporter on television, and you can see how heartbroken he was. And it's terrible to watch. Is that what he needed to say to her? Or you have to do it through a reporter? You know, because nobody on the royal family side is going to reach out to this guy. They've made that apparent. Like, that ship has sailed. You know, the king is like J-Sabs. He doesn't seem like he's taking any shit, you know. Go make it right. Go make it right. Because if that guy passes away and Harry lost out on 5+ years or whatever it was with his father, that's a terrible thing. You know, that's a terrible thing. Listen, sometimes you can't put it back together. Sometimes, even though it hurts, it's better that it's not put back together. You know what I mean? From an outsider looking in on this one, seems like you got to give it a shot. Seems like you should try. You know? And again, coming from somebody who literally almost lost their father this year. You know, you get that extra, you get that, you get past those moments and you feel like, let me make the most of this. You know? And even still, you slip and there's days go by where I don't speak to my father, you know, and I do kind of have that feeling of like, in the beginning, I was calling him every day. I was calling him a couple times a day, you know? So you do fall back into your old routines, I guess, but you got to try and make the most of it when you can. That's really, really important. So I wish they would put it together, but my fucking heart breaks for this guy. You know, it breaks for this guy. And then Meghan Markle, that piece of shit. All she can do is tweet pictures of the back of her kid's head. You fucking idiot. You know, be a person. Don't you take 5 minutes away from this bullshit career that you think you're building and go help your husband patch his family life together. You stupid fuck. You're out there testing fucking raspberry preserve recipes and putting sprinkles on top of fruit that's not going to stick to, instead of doing what's really important to you. Walking around like you're the next fucking CEO. Fucking idiot. Popalooza, the Conclave. Boy, things are heating up and getting exciting. We had 2 black smokes today. No Pope. First big day of the Conclave, and nothing but black smoke. I think it's going to take a while. You know, they were pontificating about the pontiff on whether or not the Italian Cardinals can get it together and vote as a block and get one of themselves in. Lots of people were saying that there's one of the Cardinals from Japan that's got a good shot at it. You know, all that stuff. Crowds are outside. I love how crowds get into this and they're like, we're going to just stand outside the Vatican and wait for that white smoke. People are so fucking excited about this. I just wish it was on DraftKings. I just wish I could bet on it, because I'm not going to lie to you. I had a hell of a Kentucky Derby. I did let me tell you something too. I did a stupid bet, or else I would have won a lot more money than I did. But coming off of that Kentucky Derby, I said to my wife, hey, you got to get me in a casino in Vegas where I could bet on this fucking Pope thing, because I feel like I'm just going to light it up. I just feel like I'm going to light it up. 133 Cardinals voting. They're sequestered. They're inside the 16th chapel. That's right before the 17th and just after the 15th. Lots of chapels. There's 4 million chapels in Vatican City. I don't know if you know that. There's more chapels per square inch than anywhere else. There's a bigger concentration of chapels in the Vatican than there is chapel roan in chapels own clothes. Does that make sense to anybody? If it does, go get help, because I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. 89 Cardinals out of the 133 have to agree on one person. Wonder how long we're going to be here for. You know what I didn't know? Pope Francis came in second when Ratzinger went in. And it's very, very rare that somebody who the runner-up gets voted in the next time around. Usually if you go to the end and you lose, they don't go back to you. But they are talking about, similar to Ratzi, going with somebody for a short-term look again. Again, another sort of transitional period. What's interesting, though, is out of the 133 Cardinals, a slew of them were put in place by Pope Francis. Pope Francis put a lot of Cardinals in the positions that they are in. So we expect them to go several days. We don't know who the front runner is. Certainly there are lots of candidates. I can go into this a little bit deeper, but I don't really feel the need to at the moment. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. My hope is that we'll be on the air when we get a Pope. Maybe Friday. We'll see how that goes. That would be magical. That would really, really be magical. This Pirates fan video, this is insane. So the first, if you're unfamiliar with this, there was a game in Pittsburgh, Pirates, right, baseball game. This guy falls over the outfield fence onto the field. Is a really, really big drop. Really fuzzy video taken from it was shot from somebody behind home plate, and it happened on the outfield fence. So it was like super fuzzy, kind of hard to see. You can see it. He had tumbled and he did not land well. Wasn't a good landing. We just got some footage of that same person a little bit closer from just behind them. So let's credit CBS Pittsburgh, KDKA, for this footage of the Pirates fan. He's got no shirt on. He's towards the right of the screen here. You'll see him jump up as the play gets a little exciting, and he just right over. Take a watch at this. Let's see. He jumps up, and whoopsie daisy, there he goes. You could tell how the people sitting next to him, they were like stunned and took them a second to get up. Not to mention the fact that the poor blonde lady, just to his immediate left, watch her. She gets kicked right in the face as he falls over the side. He's a young teenager. Supposedly, there was a report that he poured beer just before this video starts. So public intoxication, I'm sure, is going to wind up being a part of it. But this was a rough fall. When you look at the bottom and you see the distance of how much he fell, that's a big height. He's got broken necks. He's all messed up. Kid's all messed up. It's unfortunate. It really, really is. You got to think to yourself, though, how the hell did how do you do that? How do you do that? Listen to me now very carefully. I have kids. I don't wish bad on anybody. I love my kids. My kids are smart. They're great kids. Every now and then they do something where I go, we've got more work to do. You can listen, they're 7 and 9. Obviously, we have more work to do. But there's times where you look at them and you go, we have a lot more work to do. We're a little behind here. We're a little behind. We've got to get everybody caught up a little bit, you know? There's definitely those moments. So I don't want to wish bad on anybody. But what do you call that? The battle of not the Darwin's, what's that thing where the smart people will advance and the not so smart people won't? What do you call that? By the way, when I say not so smart people, clearly the person who can't even think of the phrase that natural selection. Thank you, Fly on Y. Darwinism, natural selection. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. This feels like one of those moments. I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to. It's a child. I feel for the family. It's a terrible tragedy and a very horrific accident. I hope this kid recovers fully. However, if we're being honest, which I have a penchant towards, you get that little natural selection feeling, don't you? It's giving, we know that people go, it's giving natural selection vibes. It's giving vibes. It's giving natural selection, watching that fall a little bit. A little bit. Again, I don't wish bad. I hope this kid's a full recovery. I hope there's a full recovery. Bird, thank you for the support. I appreciate that always. It's not easy to be out on this limb taking swings, okay? It's not. I feel bad about it. But somebody has to say it, okay? Somebody has to say it. If you can't handle a simple jump up in celebration, okay, then there's, we've got some more work to do in raising this kid right here. Plus, he's from Pittsburgh. I mean, let's be honest. Maybe our least intelligent region in the whole country, and that's saying a lot. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Albuquerque, Kansas, and the Dakotas. Yeah. So that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. I do often put my crock in my mouth. That's true, Paul. Good point. Thank you, Bird. Pittsburgh, that explains everything. Maybe I'll just let Bird say all the harsh things. This way I don't have to feel like the bad person anymore. That way, maybe Bird, let's talk after the podcast. Maybe you could just say all the mean things that clearly both you and I think of. That would be a little helpful. That would be a little helpful. This we don't get a new Disney park often. You might not be a Disney adult. I don't think I am. Maybe I am. I don't know. You know what? I'm not. Compared to some of these people, there's people, I see these people. They go, oh, it's 4:00 in the morning. We're on our way to the airport to go to Disney for the day. And then we're going to hop on a plane and come back and go to work the next day. That's a Disney adult. That's somebody who's dealing with some things. Nothing wrong with it. If that makes you happy, go crazy. I don't give a shit. If that makes you happy, fuck everybody like me who's going to say something bad about you. But I'm still going to say something bad about you. So we don't get a new Disney park all that often, but we're getting one now, and it's not in California. It's not in Florida. I thought it would be, because Universal just put like Nintendo Land in, and that was like a whole big deal. I was like, oh my God, Disney's going to have to respond to this. They're not. Disney's going to open a theme park in Abu Dhabi. They just announced their 7th location and first in the Middle East. The park will be situated on Yaz Island, already a notable leisure destination in the United Arab Emirates that includes prominent attractions such as Ferrari World, Warner Brothers World, and SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. So they basically identified the Orlando of the Middle East, and they were like, we'll just go there. Seems like there's a lot of... Is there a SeaWorld there? All right. Yeah, we seem to get along with the SeaWorld in Florida, so let's make it happen. Let's do it. Yeah. So we'll get a new Disney World Abu Dhabi. I don't know if they're going to call it Abu Dhabi Disney World or Middle East Disney World. This, of course, accompanies Disneyland Paris, which is in France, Tokyo Disney, Shanghai Disney, Hong Kong Disney. I feel like they're just watering down the Florida Disney and the California Disney, because usually, like a lot, like Japan, China, even Hong Kong, they come to Florida, but kind of a quick trip over there to California, perhaps a little quicker. The people in Europe all used to come to Florida, right? That's the quicker trip than going to California. But now with these other, parks, it's kind of like, why make the journey? But I will say, give the Disney company credit. They make them all a little bit different, and they put a different castle. They're fucking geniuses. They put a different castle in the middle of the thing. It's a castle. Every time it's a castle. But then they go, oh, this is a different castle. This is a different made-up princess castle. And people are like, maybe we should go see the other castle. And my people, I could fully admit, I've done that too, where I've said to my wife, I go, maybe we should go to Disneyland Paris or Shanghai Disney and go see that fucking castle. It's a fucking different castle. You ever have those moments where you're like, we gotta go do that. And then when you think about it, you go, that's basically the same thing we're doing now, just somewhere else. Maybe we really don't have to go do that, That was my feeling, and I still kind of feel this way about those stupid over-the-water cabins, right? In Bora Bora and all these places, like where they filmed Couples Retreat. I told my wife, I'm like, I want to go there. We were planning our anniversary. I'm like, I'm not our anniversary, our honeymoon. I'm like, well, that's where we need to go. And then it was like, hey, it's like a fucking 38-hour trip, and it's miserable. And, I said to Cuddles, like, I can't do that. I could fly there. If you're telling me at the end of a 30 million hour flight is paradise, I'm in. I can do that. I cannot spend 30 million hours on a plane coming back to New York. Okay. That's the part that I cannot do. That is miserable. I get so depressed after a vacation, period. But then there is that moment where you do get home and you're like, all right, I'll sleep in my own bed. Like you start to find things that get you back into the routine. I don't think I could do that after a 30-hour fucking plane ride. I just don't think I could survive it. And then, so at the time we were planning our honeymoon, they were like, we started reading all these articles about how over-the-water bungalows are becoming a craze, and they started building them in the Caribbean. And I just said to my wife, I go, we'll just wait 10 years for them to become popular in the Caribbean, and we'll just go there. It's fucking crystal clear water. It's warm. There's fruit plates everywhere. I get it. I don't think I need to really go to Bora. Would I like to go? Yes. Is it worth the 18-hour flight compared to Turks and Caicos? I don't think so. Because I'm in Turks and Caicos in 3 fucking hours. You can't beat that shit. Am I right, Jay Sabs, travel agent extraordinaire?
Well, you're talking about Disney as I'm packing for Disney.
You're going to Disney?
Come on, you didn't know this?
No.
Yes.
Something. I feel like you've been mad at me for like a week and a half.
I've just been busy, depressed, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. I felt terrible. I'm glad we're doing this, because if there wasn't people watching, I would never say these words to you. I felt terrible that I didn't make a big enough deal out of your cat, and I thought, oh, she's mad at me now because I didn't.
Oh my God, please. No, not at all. You said sorry, right?
I'm not entirely sure.
You did.
No, I gave you here's what I never do. I don't really do things on social, but I did this one on social. And then I was like, should I text her too?
Oh, I didn't even see it on social.
Oh yeah. See, you don't. All right. See, you don't even care. Okay. All right. I get it. But you're depressed? Are you sad over the cat?
I am.
You hated the cat though.
No, I loved my kitty.
Oh, you did? But he bit you and shit like that and scratched you all the time.
He didn't really scratch. He just bit like a dog instead of a real cat.
Okay. All right, I didn't know that. So it's kind of like your husband. You hated the experience a little bit, but he's just been around for so long. You got used to it.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, we're on the same page now.
You get it at least.
Yeah, no, please, I get it. I absolutely get it. I didn't know you're packing for Disney.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing, a week or so? Didn't you just go like a year? You went just before we went.
We went a year ago in May.
Oh my God, you're a Disney adult.
Yeah, but like, I mean, okay, maybe I do go crazy.
That's crazy. You went last year at the same exact time almost.
Yeah, you know why I go this time? Because there's no long lines.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Why did I tell my secret?
No, and it's getting warmer. It's getting nice weather around now.
Right. So.
But are you doing a week?
Yep.
Wow, the same vacation as last year.
Yep.
What brought that? No desire to do something different? Break it up a little?
Oh, they wanted to go to and you know what? We actually did have a really good time. I have to say, we did.
No, it's a blast.
I am not like a Disney freak. Like, I haven't even seen The Lion King. I know, gasp out loud. But we had such a good time there that I was like, yeah, I kind of want to go again.
When you said you're not a Disney freak, who are you trying to convince? The audience or yourself?
The audience.
Because I would say 2 years in a row.
Listen, there's people who go like every year for like 20 years straight.
Of course, totally. Is that going to be you? You're describing yourself?
See.
Okay.
We'll see. I'll probably be suckered into buying, timeshare.
That's kind of the next step,
Is, right?
It's kind of the next thing.
It is.
Hey, you'll have somebody to buy your second week if you wanted to sell it like a lot of people do.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They love it.
I love buying people's weeks. Yeah, that's crazy affordable. It's cheaper than paying Disney, and they can sell it for a profit, help pay for their other week, and it still works out.
I know. It's a business doing that, though.
It is. It is a little bit of a to-do.
And I don't know. This time I was like, I'm not going to go crazy like I did last time with like outfits and stuff. Yeah, right. And
you're doing it all.
Yeah, if they fucking tell me that we are not wearing coordinating outfits, not matching, but coordinating, if they give me a fight, I'll leave them there.
You should. I would definitely leave somebody there. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. Where are you? Do you want to tell us where you're staying and what you're doing, or no?
Sure.
You don't want to reveal it yet.
Beach club.
Oh, excuse me. Whoa, we're doing well these days, huh?
It's because I'll tell you why I was able to do it. Because their pool is closed. Their main pool is closed. So of course they offered a big discount.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that really wasn't a factor to us because last year we didn't really use the pool that much there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Disney to go sit in a pool. I'm going to Disney to go to Disney because I spent enough money on that shit. You know what I mean?
Are you doing a full week?
Yep.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Are you really? How come?
Yeah, and I want to go back. I think we will. I don't know if I was like, no way I'm doing it this year, and maybe not even next year. Probably, the year after that maybe is the first time I would entertain going back again.
Honestly, we probably won't go back next year. Well, besides the fact that it's our 20-year anniversary and I want to go to Europe.
Got it.
But we'll see, because my jaw will be aching.
All right, let me ask you this: will you go to Disneyland Paris? Are you?
No,
you're not intrigued to go to the other Disneylands? No.
Nope. The one in Hong Kong is supposed to be one of the best ones, but someone I know went to that one, right? I think Hong Kong. I don't know. Like I said, I really am not like a Disney. Like I said, I never even seen the freaking Lion King. To me, it's all about the outfits. Sorry.
Wait, are you talking about the original one or the remake?
Both.
You never saw the original Lion King? That's a
Nope.
lie.
No,
That's
for
so
real.
lie.
I never did.
You couldn't avoid that shit in 95, 96. It was
but here's the
everywhere.
thing. I'm not a cartoon person.
And you're
Never
going to
was.
Disney 2 years in a row?
Yeah, right? Make it make sense.
What's the draw here? Yeah, I don't get it. All right.
I'm in for the outfits, the coordinating outfits, and yeah.
Got it. What are you looking forward to? Like, what you did everything last time, didn't you?
But see, the thing is, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people from the UK come and they spend 3 weeks there. 3 weeks. But guess what? And they still say they haven't done everything.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I did. So we're going down to Florida in August.
Ooh.
And we got a few days. We're doing a cruise. We have a few days before the cruise we're spending with grandma and grandpa down there.
Right.
I did have a thought the other day to be like, maybe we should pop over to Epcot again to just do Guardians one more time, just for a day, just for the day.
Here's the thing. I don't like that. I don't like that one.
That ride?
Yeah. Nope. Made me nauseous.
You're nuts. It's the best ride. Did you do what's the other one? Tron? Did you do Tron?
I did not do Tron last time. I am going to attempt it this time.
Yeah, we didn't do it last time either. That was the only one that we really missed.
So, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Paul claiming he never saw Lion. This is bullshit. Come on. Everybody has seen Lion King.
No. I'm telling you, no. You might think so. No.
That's craziness. That's crazy talk.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, right?
You don't come on Wednesdays.
Frank's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Frankie's doing God's work.
God's work.
Yeah. He's going door to door converting MAGA Republicans.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That's what Frankie's up to. I think he'll be here Friday, but I'm not sure. He might have another thing coming up. More stuff to talk about with that off the air between you and I. What was I just going to say? Shit, it was Disney related.
Go ahead.
You got to watch Lion King. You guys you got to, when do you leave? Tomorrow?
Friday.
Saturday?
Sorry, Saturday.
Saturday? You got to watch Lion King before you got Disney Plus, right? You have no excuse.
I know.
Watch the fucking Lion King. You don't even have to. There is a non-cartoon version. It's not as good.
Right. That's what right?
No, it's not as good. You got to watch the original. The original ones are the best.
Okay.
Yeah, watch it. Take 5 minutes away from I murdered, 10 women in my town documentaries that you like to watch, and watch something wholesome with the kid. Have your children seen Lion King?
Oh, I don't. Again, we are not a huge Disney family.
Now Paul is saying Robin is saying he's never seen Lion. What the hell what is happening?
I told you, you don't listen.
This is insane. I feel like we might have to. I know it'll cost us our channel, but we might have to stream Lion King so everybody can watch it. This is nuts.
I told you.
Did you see the Lion King show in Animal Kingdom?
No.
All right, I don't know.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
It's so much fun. Let me tell you something. You look for those opportunities to sit down for 45 minutes.
That's true.
In air conditioning, let the kid and they're just like everything is so bright and it's a good show that kids are like mesmerized by it.
Right.
Although my son did nod off a little bit towards the end. He was so friggin' tired.
I know.
Do you have pool days planned this time around? No.
Nope. Going straight through.
7 days in the park?
Well, we get there Saturday and we leave Saturday, so we'll be there every day in between.
So 6 days. Damn.
Yep.
Damn, you got it all plotted out. You know what you're doing and when.
Let me tell you something, man. That's the bitch part. It's so hard to decide what you want to do on those days. To me, it's very hard to pick that. And I think that's what everyone says now. The problem is like, it's not easy to do that.
Mm.
It's not easy to say, hey, we're going to go to this day. You have to pick the times you want to go on rides. You have to choose between like meal times. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. See, if we go back again for an extended period of time, I don't want to plan as much because we did that already. We did all the things. I want to go back now and just chill.
Right.
Take it easy a little bit. Still, I want to go still do right, but you're right. It is a pain in the ass to be like, all right, well, Thursday we have to be here in the morning. And
that's the whole thing.
Yeah, that kind of sucks a little bit.
And you rope dropped or no?
Yeah, the whole time I told you I wouldn't buy one of those stupid things.
Right. That's right, you didn't. Oh no, I already bought all of them.
You waste, oh my God, you waste so much money.
No, dude.
But you're not early people. You're not early risers.
We're not. We are not.
That's all right. I get it.
We definitely are not.
Yes. It's funny. We're doing this cruise, and my wife is like, "We're going to eat at 5:30." I'm like, "Hell yeah, we are." I'm like, "Cause your kid is going to be up at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning."
What do you mean? 5:30 in the morning?
No, 5:30 at night. You have to pick an early or a late. Dinner's either at 5:30 or 8.
I know it's a stupid time.
I'm like, let's go at 5:30. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, I know. You kind of have to do that though with kids, right?
I think so. I mean, and again, it's different. I feel like you're on the opposite side. You don't have early risers. We have early risers.
Yeah, on the weekend, what time do they get up?
Oh, dude, they're up at 6:30.
Fuck that.
We have to like threaten them to stay in their room until 7.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If they get out of their room and we don't like go downstairs immediately, in like a half hour or 20 minutes in the morning, they will completely trash our home.
Really?
There will just be like gummy bear wrappers and mini brownies. What do they call those things? Little bites.
Yes.
There'll just be fucking shit everywhere. There's popcorn.
Oh no.
The tequila bottle's open. I'm like, it's 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's funny. Right. No.
And then my wife goes, "You want breakfast?" I go, They already consumed 4,000 calories in 20 minutes. I'm like, you can't give them pancakes after 2 bags of Little Bites, gummy bears.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
They're fucking animals.
Jesus.
All right. Well, listen, you enjoy your time in Disney.
Thank you. I'll try.
I'll let Abu Dhabi Disney know you won't be attending.
Right.
Are you ready for a week without getting any? Because that was a little tough for me.
What are you talking about?
Okay. All right. You got plans? You got things in place?
Listen, I know all the tricks, okay? Sorry, Mom.
I told my wife, wait, are you going with are your parents going?
No, I'm just saying sorry, Mom, because I know all the tricks in her house. Sorry, Mom. I
told my wife, I go, because, last vacation we were on our own. This time around, Grandma and Grandpa's coming with us. I'm like, we're going to have to plot some time out for Mommy and Daddy time,
That's right. You better.
Hell yeah.
Let's go check back in the room for something. I left my shoe. I don't know.
That's a good excuse, because it can't be something like, that'll take a long time, because when we come back within 7 minutes, it should be like a quick shoe thing. It's a good point.
I got you. See,
it can't be like we're gonna go watch a movie in the room and then come back 7 minutes later. That wouldn't fly.
No, probably not.
You got my back, J Sebs, and I appreciate that. By the way, I don't know. I left the house for a little while today. Then I came home and Cuddles did something to her eyebrows. Did you have anything to do with that?
No. What did you do?
I don't know, but she darkened them a little bit, I guess.
She didn't do what I did, right? Got a tattoo?
No, but that's what I thought of. I'm like, I wonder if Janine is behind this, because this is a little crazy.
Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah. No, it's
Actually, I have to get a touch up, and I'm dreading it because I honestly rather give birth than get my eyebrows tattooed on again.
I think you should just let it go already. You're like 30 years into a marriage, you're
What
old
are
as fuck.
What are you talking about? See,
Give
what do you want me to wear? Crocs next?
give it up, man. Get some Crocs and some socks. Get comfortable. Get comfortable.
Good.
I'm gonna ask you for a loan. I can't believe you're staying at the beach club. Where did you stay last time?
Caribbean beach.
Damn, you're doing good.
I bet you paid more than me when you went, and
All because of the pool thing, you think?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why. I'm fine with it. I don't care. Other people, well, they do have more pools, as you know, but I don't really it. Doesn't bother me, but
Yeah, I do. I want to do the trip where you take a pool day here or there, but we jammed everything in last time. We just really didn't have the time for it.
We did take a pool day last time, and honestly, I was like, do we need to? The thing is, did you rent a stroller for your kids?
No.
Game changer. Game changer.
No, we're minimalist. I told my wife too. I'm like, don't even bring a fucking bag. Don't even do it.
Oh my! How do you? I don't understand how you do that. It's not just you though; it's other people too. How do you
I walked out of that room with my magic band on and a bottle of water. I don't even think I carried a wallet with me.
How?
That's the way to do it. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, but a bottle of water. But you also didn't go in when the hot season.
No, we were there in December. It was,
Yeah, totally different. It is different. Sorry, I'm opening up my bag cubes right now.
Your what?
Bag cubes. You know how people pack in bag cubes, or you don't know about that?
No, what is that?
Some people pack what they're gonna wear per day. You don't get it. It's fine.
I get it. I'm trying to hold back my hatred for you is what the problem is.
Oh my God. Listen, when you have two girls, this is what you need to do.
Really?
Absolutely.
I mean, Cuddles plans an outfit out, but she doesn't put it in individual bags. That's what you're doing?
Oh, no, not individual. No. It's like these, they're called packing cubes. Nope, you never heard of them. It's okay. No. You're a male. It's fine.
Do you vacuum them? Are you one of those people who vacuums their clothes so they can fit more shit?
I don't have time for that. That's a little much. That's a little much.
Robin wants to know. He heard a zipper. Is that a Pulp Fiction situation going on over there at your house?
Sure. There we go.
That fucking song during that scene is the best soundtracking I've ever heard in my entire life.
You like that?
No, I didn't like it, but it was good. It was well done.
You're like, well, I didn't really like it, but yeah, sure.
It's painful for a lot of everybody goes, oh, what if I was in that situation? I would have took the sword to myself, let alone the other person.
Right.
All right, Jay Subs. What?
I said, yeah, I've seen that. You want to talk offline after this?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to make sure you're not mad at me. That's the most important thing that we got out of this.
But hit me up after, because I'm going to make a lot of noise right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. There's Jay Subs, everybody. Planning yet another Disney World trip. It's unbelievable. You think to yourself, who bought the dip? Who benefited from Trump tanking the stock market and then it going back up? and then magically Jay Sabs has another Disney trip planned. I never heard it. Last time she had a Disney trip planned, right? You told us I knew 3 years in advance. We were all looking forward to it. Now I find out 5 minutes before.
You know what's funny? We booked it in February.
When was the dip? Somebody tell me, when did Trump tank the stock market? It feels like it was February.
That would be funny if it was, but
yeah.
No, it was just in March.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
All right. Last thing. What are you looking forward to this time around that you either didn't do or you're looking forward to doing again?
This barbecue place called Polite Pig.
Oh, Disney Springs.
Yes. Did you
Yeah.
eat there?
I don't know. I think the only thing we got from there was what's the big cookie place? Gideon's?
Oh yeah.
So we went to the Polite Pig because they were the first people to serve Gideon's before they put a Gideon store in there.
Okay.
So I never had the barbecue or whatever, but I mean, you walk through you come out of the parking garage, and you smell it instantly. It smells amazing.
Right. That's why you kind of have to, right?
If it was up to me, I would eat in Disney Springs every day.
Yeah,
I was
I know.
in Disney.
Well, that's the whole thing. We're only going to go there for one night, so I did make reservations at that boat place. But to tell you the truth, the menu looks, it's supposedly good, but I'd rather have barbecue.
Yeah, that's a good call.
We'll see.
All right, good, J-Subs. Do your packing. We don't want to bother you anymore. I got to do this story, and then we got to get the hell out of here.
All right. Then hit me up. Bye.
I'll hit you. All right, there's J-Subs, everybody.
Bye.
Planning her Florida trip. All right, last story of the podcast, super important. Soundgarden. They're going to put out their final record with Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell, who has been gone since 2017. But the Kim Thale told the Rolling Stone that they've had this record and they've been sitting on it. They got elected to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so they're gonna finish the work on it. Kim said it would be great. It would be a great gift to the fans. And I don't think about this, and I don't know how strange this sounds, but I feel like it's a gift to Chris too. Is what he said. They plan on releasing this final album with Chris Cornell sometime very, very soon. They didn't complete this before Chris passed away at the age of 52. Thale said, our objective and goal was always to complete that album. I probably have OCD enough to not want to leave something unfinished or incomplete like that, he continued. But he said that there's been a desire lately to attend to our body of work and our catalog, saying, quote, I think everyone in the band feels that way. I don't just attend to my work, but the collective work. And in this case, specifically the work of Chris. Soundgarden formed in 84, if you can believe it. So they were around Seattle for like 8 years, 8 years. Depending, before they wound up popping in the early 90s, and then 92, 94, they really went for that new level. But yeah, they'll go into the Hall of Fame, and they'll work on the new Soundgarden record for the exact release date. Stay tuned. As soon as we know, we'll let you know. But that's kind of that's a big step for people, because again, he died in 17. That's almost 8 years now, where they kind of were like, all right, gonna take some time away from this, and now they're going to get back to it, which is just awesome. Soundgarden going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's funny. I always loved Chris Cornell. I dug Soundgarden. I was never like a huge fan. I was never a huge fan. I mean, massive talent. It's not them. It's me. I missed the boat on it. Massive talent. But yeah, they've had quite a career. I didn't think they really deserved the Hall this time around. I could see putting him in eventually, but I don't know. I have a big problem with going in is that Cyndi Lauper. I just don't know. She's great. But, and she was huge. It's just you put her next to Madonna. You put her next to, Mariah. Right? You think of all the great female artists that we have had, Mariah, Madonna, Janet, up to the current Beyonce and Lady Gaga. These are massive Hall of Fame careers. Cyndi Lauper, that. I mean, she's a celebrity. She was massive, but she never really had the body of work. Like Chubby Checkers getting in. Chubby Checker deserves to be there just because he was first to, that type of music that he put out, and that was, again, huge. There's no body of work to speak of there. He had 17 versions of the twist, This is good. Anthony doesn't think girls should have any fun. I think she's mad. It's funny. That documentary that just came out on Netflix about the whole, the night they recorded the song there, the big song, Michael Jackson and all those guys, they needed her. Like they were like, we gotta have her, gotta have Cyndi Lauper. She's so like 84, whatever, 86 when that came out. Oh my God, there was no bigger star. But it's just ever since then, it's like I respect the hell out of Paula Abdul too. I wouldn't put her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Is there a bigger song than Life is a Highway? Life is a highway. That fucking guy? I wouldn't put him in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I don't know if there's a bigger song than that. Granted, I know Chestnuts Roasting on that's a bigger set. Like there's songs that have sold, but that fucking Life is a Highway song has not gone away since it came out. It came out and it has been with us ever since. Nobody has gone 3 months without hearing that fucking song somewhere, somehow. I wouldn't put that guy in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Tremendous song. Unbelievable song. Probably lived his whole entire life off that fucking song. You couldn't name, I can't even name the guy. You couldn't name another song by that guy. True Colors and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Name another fucking Cyndi Lauper song. Name another one. If you can get over 5 Cyndi Lauper songs, then you can tell me to go fuck myself on this one. You absolutely are invited to tell me to go fuck off. But until I hear more than 5 Cyndi Lauper songs and I can justify it, you can't tell me that she deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. Again, I don't even, did she precede Madonna? I feel like they popped around the same time. And then Madonna just eclipsed her. So I don't know. Again, does a Soundgarden need to be in there? Maybe eventually. Like I said, I could, Nirvana needs to be in. Pearl Jam needs to be. Like, again, like Chubby was the first, right? The twist, and it was such a big thing, and rock and roll was getting started, and Buddy Holly, and all this stuff is kind of happening at the same time. And if you're first, you get it. Grunge, right? The revolution of grunge, and it's Pearl Jam, and it's Nirvana. They deserve to get in. Anybody else really? It gets a little tougher. All those other bands, they're great bands. Green Day gets in, not so much a grunge. They're kind of like the little pop punk revolution of the 90s. Look how long it took Metallica to get in for. They were doing metal. They weren't first to it, but it took them a long time to accrue that respect. There's longevity respect there. It's not longevity respect with some of these. It feels very thin. This one, this class feels a little thin. Oh, She-Bop. She-Bop is good. I hate to admit it, but She-Bop, I hate the fucking lyrics. It's a little annoying, but that is one. She-Bop, a we bop, and they all bop. Yeah, that's all right. We're up to 3. We've got 3. Give me another one. Exactly. We need 2 more. Is this another one? Is the Stranglers a song? I don't even know. You gotta give me a little bit more of that. A little bit of a one-hit wonder there. I am excited as all shit for Chris. Here's the thing with Chris Cornell too, and this is not to slight the Soundgarden people. All the shit I love by him is almost not even with Soundgarden. I mean, a lot like Chris Cornell getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I get the rest of the guys. I hate to sound so shitty, but I don't know. That's just me. Like his acoustic stuff, I fucking love. I love the stuff he did. Audio Slave, that shit was so great. She-Bop's about masturbation. No idea. I've never looked at. Can I tell you something? I've never looked for meaning in a fucking Cyndi Lauper song. I don't know what that says about me, but that's the honest truth. I've never been like, I wonder what She-Bop is about. Pretty much got True Colors. Not a lot of mystery behind Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I got that one, basically. That's a surface number right there. I've not been like, I wonder what fucking Cyndi Lauper was going for here on this She Bop song. Did not know it was about masturbation. Most of them usually are, though. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny how it works that way? I don't know if you can hear this buzz, but I think I got a little malfunction here. All right. Hum She Bop to yourself in your head and imagine at the end the closing theme is going here. Appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to become a member if you haven't already. You could do so for as low as $2.99. That is the tariff rate. We're not going to tack anything onto that. Notice our prices have not gone up. Join for $2.99 if you haven't already. I'm telling you, it helps. It goes a long way to help the podcast. $2.99 a month. 10 of you come on board and we can hire another co-host. That's how unbelievable the rates are right now. So join up if you haven't already. If you appreciate the show, if you love the stuff we do on Epstein and the royal family and Meghan, support our habits. Support our habitual podcast here. Appreciate you guys as always, and we'll catch you.